Hello, Manhwa lovers, and a very special shout out to those who left comments on the previous video. Your support means the world to me and inspires me to keep creating and sharing new content. A special greeting goes to Dark Gamer 3492, who once again managed to leave the first comment on the second to last video. You're the fastest. That afternoon, while some were feeling dizzy and others were enjoying a lively conversation, Amole and Chloe were busy grilling meat. John and Amy were sharing laughs, but Amole received an unexpected call from Leon, who offered to take over the grilling since Amelie was eating everything. She joked again about her squid, but everything was fine thanks to Chloe's help. Despite this, John took over the task, leaving Amole without a grilling job. John noticed that some had eaten a bit of the meat before it was ready, drawn by how delicious it looked. While John and Amole laughed and enjoyed themselves, Chloe smiled as she watched them. At that moment, Gina approached, seeing her little group, and though tempted to try some, she declined due to the amount of food she had already consumed. John's grilling skills came from knowledge gained at a camp his mother used to take him to. This detail impressed the girls, and Gina expressed her wish to join the next time they went. John also extended the invitation to Amelie, who seemed interested, but the fee to attend was $5, which made the girls laugh. Meanwhile, Chloe was planning something. While the group chatted, Chloe approached from behind and admitted she also wanted to join. Amid laughter, they tried to get a discount or even proposed Chloe could collect cicadas to lower the cost. Chloe jokingly suggested they might taste good if crunchy. Leon, laughing, noted they were all gourmets. Regardless, John stayed at the grill so the girls could enjoy some drinks. Although Chloe wasn't sure about it, they asked John to grill a little more before taking a break. By the way, Gina remembered that Emma was already in the astral plane, as she had completely forgotten about it. Later, Em was grabbing some drinks when she heard someone asking for one. It was John, who asked if she had eaten a lot. Em confirmed she had and handed him the drink he requested. John was also planning to take his drink elsewhere, as he wanted to visit the beach. Inspired by a movie he had seen and wanted to emulate it, Em got excited and wanted to join, expressing her romantic side, which John accepted without hesitation. Em asked him to wait a moment, or rather, a little longer, a request John agreed to without issue. Time passed, and John waited patiently until he heard Em's voice saying she was ready for their romantic outing. Though she seemed more determined, she went to change clothes but handed Em a drink to even things out. Once they were ready to leave, they noticed the large crowd at the beach, which made Leon feel shy. They assumed everyone was there to admire the night at the beach, but they decided to find a more secluded spot. They continued walking, and during their search, they shared their preferences regarding drinks, realizing they had walked all day and were now doing so at night, something Em loved, and John shared the same sentiment. They kept chatting until they found a good spot to relax. At that moment, they finally paused and realized their drinks had already warmed up, which they found funny as they tasted awful. Despite this, they planned to stay a little longer. They sat down, and John thought he would have been bored if he were alone, but he enjoyed listening to Em and appreciated her company. He asked her if there was anything she wanted to do and wondered if there was something she wanted to try once they reached the beach. Em replied that she simply wanted to walk around the beach, and if she thought of something else, she would let him know. At that moment, Em did remember something else. She asked John to hug her and lift her so she could get a different perspective of the view. To the surprise of many, she was 1.80 meters tall, and with Leon's height, she could reach even higher, though he didn't believe it. Even so, he was willing to do whatever she wanted, warning her he wouldn't be responsible if she fell. Ami was excited. John held her legs and lifted her while they enjoyed the impressive views of the sea. Em wanted to try something else, a kiss with John on the beach. Love was in the air. After that kiss, John and Em were blushing, and the moment caused John to stumble, sending them both into the water. Em laughed as she apologized for the surprise, while John jokingly admitted he had swallowed a bit of sand. Although neither of them was injured at that moment, they were both more concerned about the awkwardness than any physical harm. Ami felt embarrassed, especially because, with her wet shirt, she looked very good, though he joked, asking her not to look. Emmy appreciated his playful side, like a mischievous child wanting to tease her. Meanwhile, Joan thought about Amy's wet clothes, but she assured him she was also soaked and would show him what she had underneath. This caught Leon's attention, but it turned out Amy was wearing a swimsuit, avoiding any uncomfortable situations. Despite the initial embarrassment, Leon thought Emmy looked strange, while he found her charming. This exchange left Emmy satisfied, as she wanted him to see her first, considering it an honor due to how good she looked. After an embarrassed hug, Emmy advised John to take off his wet clothes to avoid getting sick, but he refused the idea due to the cold. Despite wanting to leave soon, Emmy had other plans, and suggested he hang his shirt to dry since they were enjoying the moment, and she didn't want to leave. She offered him her coat, and with no other options, John had no choice but to accept. Sometime later, they were still in the same spot, enjoying each other's company. They loved being there, even though the coat was a bit small, which was the only discomfort. Despite this, Emmy, worried about the cold, asked if he was chilly. To solve this, she suggested a hug, a proposal he gladly accepted. The result was a beautiful hug that left them both slightly embarrassed. Their eyes met afterward, and they shared a wonderful kiss, prolonging it as they searched for magical stars, an idea that seemed completely wild to them. Although Emmy was nervous about being outdoors, they continued exploring for more magical stars. At one point, they heard others arriving at the location, which could have caused complications. These newcomers found a nice and quiet corner, but didn't notice Emmy and John, though they did notice the belongings they had left behind. Faced with the potential for problems, John preferred to go back, but Emmy wanted to keep searching, as the magic of the stars was a secret. They decided to remain silent to avoid being followed by the newcomers. While they delved deeper into their search for stars, the people around them seemed completely unaware of their presence. The sound of the waves provided subtle cover, disguising their steps despite the tranquility of the place. However, amidst the serenity, a feminine voice, almost like a ghostly whisper, filtered through the air thanks to the wind and rocks. The girl found it quite amusing, especially considering her companion's antics. As they continued laughing, they once again noticed the belongings they had seen earlier. Upon examining them again, the situation grew strange, especially because of some sandals that appeared to have stepped in something unpleasant. They recalled a past anecdote from their companion involving a similar experience with poop, which sparked more laughter. Nevertheless, they concluded that the owner of the belongings had likely gone swimming, which explained the situation. Suddenly, the laughter stopped as they thought it might have been someone who wanted to visit St. Peter because of what was left behind. They decided to call emergency services and look for a police officer. Meanwhile, Johan and Emi, upon learning about the others leaving, decided to continue their search for magical stars, diving back into the magic of the night. At the end of their journey, both were starving, but Johan noticed that Emmy's legs were trembling from exhaustion after so much walking. Without hesitation, Johan offered to carry her. He crouched down, ready to lift her before all the food at the house ran out. Emmy understood the idea and climbed onto his back, observing Jeon's good stamina. Joking about the comfort of her vehicle, Johan thought everyone might already be asleep. Emmy clarified that they would stay up until dawn since they were eagerly awaiting that day. In response, John preferred to retreat to his room, but Emmy proposed roasting some marshmallows she had brought to share. John found the plan delicious and joked about Emmy's lack of sweetness, to which she thanked him for the beautiful day they had shared. John shared the same sentiment, though he knew Emmy's body would ache the next day and that he might have to carry her again. The next day, Chloe was trying on a swimsuit that flattered her figure spectacularly when Gina arrived and surprised her. Chloe felt flattered by the compliments, even though the blonde insisted that she had done nothing wrong. Gina wanted to know who the lucky person was that Chloe seemed concerned about, though Chloe denied having any particular interest. She explained her concern was more about the presence of other people, which embarrassed her. From Gina's perspective, Chloe looked incredibly stunning from early on, though Chloe worried her outfit might be too eye-catching despite the compliments. Gina offered to lend her one of her swimsuits to wear over it since she had it on hand and wouldn't be using it, avoiding waste. Chloe accepted the offer, but later Gina asked her to show how the swimsuit looked with a sweatshirt on while on the bus, a suggestion Chloe flatly rejected. Meanwhile, some other companions were just waking up, while others were still sleeping. They hoped all the girls could shower together due to the bathroom's size. Chloe's early energy helped wake some of the girls with the noise. On the other hand, the boys were lying down, annoyed by being woken up to meet at 9 a.m., as they waited for the girls to join them for breakfast. That afternoon, Gina, Amoli, and Rui admired both Yelena and Han, comparing them to a watermelon. You know what I mean? The boys were also amazed, and one of them even thought a girl was behind him, listening to everything he said. Meanwhile, Han asked Chloe to join them, though Chloe found Han's outfit too daring. The leader wanted everyone to see what she had to offer, leaving the boys disappointed by Chloe's sweatshirt. Yelena backed up Han, arguing that a student should always present themselves well to attract the right guy and build a good relationship. Chloe thought that's why the teacher had come. That same afternoon, the girls had fun on the beach with rough games, tossing each other in the air. Amole became a victim of these games, while Han and Yelena relaxed. The boys also joined in on these games. However, John noticed something. Han was trying to get close to someone, but every time she tried, someone else spoke to the girl, leaving Han alone again. This happened several times throughout the day, clearly leaving Han embarrassed. John didn't know Han's intentions, but when he saw her returning in his direction, he smiled and asked what she was doing. Nervous, Han tried to tell him something, but Am was always moving from one place to another. This made John recall the promise from the day of the play, realizing she was referring to that. Han agreed, and for the first time, John got something right. However, for Han, it was necessary because of how well the play turned out, though she secretly hoped for something more. She didn't want to express it and became upset. The curiosity was great, but Han still wouldn't reveal her thoughts. Even so, she enjoyed Jeon's company, so he offered to help her with Am by notifying her when she was free. As for the earlier matter, Han also wanted to know if Jeon liked her swimsuit. At the house, Emma was recovering, utterly exhausted and with a headache, realizing everyone had left and hadn't woken her.